All right, welcome to Tech Expo. This is our 10th year of Tech Expo. We're going to come and interview some of our lovely presenters today. Okay, so we're here with Lindsay Cunningham and Nashwa Khedr, talking about all-class response technologies. Could you sort of describe the project a little bit, Lindsay?
Yeah, so we're just modeling some ways of getting student voices and capturing student voices in the classroom. So we have three techniques that we're demoing here today. So a high-tech technique using Mentimeter, a low-tech technique using clickers, and a no-tech technique using Post-it notes.
These all sounds really wonderful, and I'm familiar with Mentimeter, but I have never heard of clickers. So could you speak a little bit to that?
So clickers is great because the teacher needs a device, a computer, and either a phone, iPhone or iPad, and the students get cards that look like this. So each one is numbered, and there's A, B, C, or D. So you set up your questions on the computer, and then the students hold up their card with the whatever letter they want, A, B, C, or D, at the top.
Oh, that's really cool.
And they hold it up, and then the teacher uses their phone to scan the whole class.
Okay.
And all of the data from these codes get picked up through the phone and show up on your computer that you can have on the screen in real time.
Okay.
So you can have a right answer, a wrong answer, you can have survey questions. It's really wonderful for formative assessment. So getting a read on maybe how that lesson went over. Did the students get what you wanted them to get from it? Doing a review, taking a poll, doing a survey. So all of these are like really easy to do with clickers, and it's kind of a nice technique because all the students don't need a device. So sometimes it's great to have it, and sometimes we think that is maybe going to cause more trouble than it's worth right now. And so you can have, these are free to print out, the program is free for up to 5 questions at a time, and then the app is free as well. So yeah, you just hold it up and you can scan the whole class at a time. It's like this. The dot will show up red if it's wrong, green if it's correct. So as the teacher is scanning, they can get a read on who is doing kind of on the right track and who maybe is not so much. So it looks like this, and then as you scan it, you can see when it goes green, then it's the right answer.
I can imagine this would be super useful in like a K-12 classroom if you have some students who are a little bit more quiet, maybe some students who are really eager, kind of levels the playing field a little bit, right?
It does, and you can make it anonymous responses. You can show the graph in real time as you're collecting the data, so students can see what other people are saying as well. So there's a lot of functionality to it, and it's really easy to get up and running, which is a nice feature.
Amazing. And as an ex-English language teacher, I love a Post-it note. I love sticking Post-it notes on a whiteboard. What are some of the best ways that you've been managing to use this sort of technique? Because I would use it for everything. But if there's something in particular that you think works really well with this technique.
Yeah, no, I think it's a great way to get students, again, like that class response, see what they're thinking about. It can be a great way of brainstorming as well. So getting lots of ideas out there. It can also get students up and moving. So pairing their idea generation with sort of a physical moving to a certain area to post, or responding to a prompt that's somewhere kind of else in the room. So yeah, that one's so flexible. You can use it in a million different ways.
And you also mentioned Mentimeter, which I'm pretty familiar with, but some of the folks that are probably watching might not be familiar with Mentimeter. Could you describe Mentimeter a little bit?
Yeah, so Mentimeter is kind of similar to clickers in that you can set up questions in advance, and then you have all the students have their devices, and the students use their device to respond to the questions. So there's a few more options in terms of the way that the information is displayed on the screen. There's maybe a little bit more flexibility in the types of questions that you can ask with Mentimeter as well. Yeah. sort of impact. Yeah.
I really appreciate that you've got like the entire sort of spectrum of really quite high tech. Everyone has a device to let's just put some post-it notes on the board or somewhere in the room. I think it's really important to make sure that, you know, we're not assuming things about our students, whether they have a device. I mean, I used to have a phone not all that long ago that couldn't do QR codes. I had to download a special app for QR codes, and I found that really tough during COVID. So it's nice to sort of have these different options that sort of are able to, you know, connect with students and get them to connect as well.
Just in terms of like diversity of approaches, right? When we can kind of change things up and just, you know, some days we use post-its, some days we use clickers, some days we use Mentimeter, and it just kind of keeps things engaging and fresh.
Yeah, totally. I mean, again, I've been really guilty of like relying too heavily on Kahoot, and after a while things get stale, so it's good to change it up. Thank you so much, Lindsay, for showing us all of these different tech. It's wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you very much.